2 60 tons of frozen turkey. There were 10 refrigerated railroad cars sitting on the tracks, a company on the verge of a nervous breakdown, and the accidental invention that changed the way America eats forever. Welcome to the Food Files. Today's case is different. We are not investigating one dish, we are investigating the most powerful force in American food history. Not a chef, not a recipe, not a war. Television, Hollywood, and advertising. Because here is the truth that nobody wants to admit. Most of what America eats today was not created in a kitchen. It was created in a marketing meeting. Let's open the file. The year is 1953, Omaha, Nebraska. C.A. Swanson & Sons, a large poultry company, has just made a catastrophic mistake. They have dramatically overestimated how much turkey Americans will buy for Thanksgiving. The result, 260 tons of frozen turkey, sitting in 10 refrigerated railroad cars. It was all just sitting there, going absolutely nowhere. And here is the detail that makes this story almost too good to be true. The refrigeration on those cars only worked while the trains were moving, so Swanson had to keep the trains running back and forth across the country, from Nebraska to the East Coast and back, just to stop 260 tons of turkey from rotting, while panicked executives figured out what to do. A salesman named Jerry Thomas had recently flown on a Pan American Airways flight and noticed something. The airline served meals in compartmentalized aluminum trays. He brought the idea back to Swanson. What if they packaged the turkey into individual frozen trays, with stuffing, peas, and sweet potatoes, and sold them directly to American families? What if they packaged them in boxes designed to look like television sets, the newest, most exciting technology in every American home? And what if they called it the TV dinner? In 1950, only 9% of American households owned a television. By 1955, just 5 years later, that number had exploded to 64%. By 1960, it was nearly 90%. Swanson launched their TV dinner in the fall of 1953. Price, 98 cents. Contents: turkey, cornbread stuffing, sweet potatoes and peas. Packaging: a cardboard box shaped like a TV set. They planned to produce 5,000 dinners to test the market. They sold 10 million in the first year. 10 million from a product that was born out of desperation to avoid throwing away 260 tons of leftover turkey. The TV dinner did not just sell food, it sold a lifestyle. It told American families, you do not have to sit at the table anymore. You do not have to talk to each other. You can eat in front of the television. This is the future, this is modern, this is America. One newspaper columnist in 1957 wrote, and I'm quoting directly here, "Eating off a tray in the dusk before a TV set is an abomination." He was right, and completely ignored. By 1987, a Swanson aluminum tray was added to the permanent collection of the National Museum of American History at the Smithsonian Institution. The abomination became a national treasure. Comment question number 1. Did you grow up eating TV dinners? What was your favorite one? Drop it in the comments. I want to know what era you're from. The TV dinner taught corporate America one very important lesson. If you market your food to match the culture, the technology, the mood, the moment, you do not just sell a product, you create a tradition. And nobody learned that lesson more aggressively than McDonald's. The year is 1977, Kansas City, Missouri. A McDonald's advertising executive named Bob Bernstein is watching his 9-year-old son eat breakfast. He notices something. His son isn't interested in the food. He's reading the cereal box, every word, every game, every cartoon. And Bernstein has an idea. What if McDonald's created a meal specifically for children, not just with kid-friendly food, but with a box full of things to read, things to look at, and a toy? What if the packaging was the product? In 1977, the concept was developed. In June 1979, the Happy Meal officially launched. Original price, $1. Contents: hamburger or cheeseburger, fries, a cookie, a drink, and a small toy. The first toy was a McDoodle stencil, not exactly a must-have collectible, but the concept was revolutionary. For the first time in fast food history, a chain was marketing directly and specifically to children, not to parents, to children. And it worked. McDonald's understood something that neuroscientists would confirm decades later. Children who associate a place with joy and toys and excitement become adults who associate that place with comfort and nostalgia. You are not just feeding the child, you are programming the adult. By 2011, McDonald's had become the largest toy distributor in the world. Read that again. The largest toy distributor in the world. Not Mattel, not Hasbro, not LEGO, McDonald's. A fast food company was distributing more toys than any toy company on earth, and then the pop culture machine kicked in. 1990. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Happy Meal. 100 million Happy Meals sold in 1 month. 1 month. 1997. Teeny Beanie Babies Happy Meal. Adults stood in line at McDonald's every single day. Not for the food, for the toy. 100 million Happy Meals sold in the first year of that promotion alone. 2021, Pokémon Happy Meal for the 25th anniversary. The promotion was so popular that adult collectors overwhelmed restaurants. Some locations had to restock toys multiple times. Some began selling the toys separately, without the meal. People were buying McDonald's to get the toy and throwing away the food. Today, approximately 1.2 billion Happy Meals are sold globally every year. McDonald's dedicates $32 million of its advertising budget, specifically to marketing the Happy Meal to children. The concept that started with one man watching his son read a cereal box is now a $1.2 billion annual machine that has shaped the eating habits of multiple generations across more than 100 countries. And in 2010, San Francisco voted to ban Happy Meal toys entirely, unless the meal met specific nutritional standards. McDonald's response, they started charging 10 cents for the toy and kept selling it. Comment question number 2. What was your favorite Happy Meal toy of all time? The one you still think about? Drop it below. Let's build the greatest Happy Meal toy ranking of all time right here in the comments. We have talked about a turkey disaster that created the TV dinner. We have talked about a cereal box that created the Happy Meal. Now let's talk about the sport that accidentally created the greatest food event in American history. This is the story of the Super Bowl, and specifically on the chicken wing, because here is something that will genuinely change the way you look at game day. Before 1964, chicken wings were garbage, literally. They were the part of the chicken that nobody wanted. Butchers gave them away for free or threw them in the trash. In 1964, as we covered in a previous episode, Teresa Bellissimo at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo invented buffalo wings by accident, a late-night snack for her son and his friends. But even after that invention, wings remained a regional bar snack, mostly confined to Buffalo, New York, almost unknown outside of it. So how did chicken wings go from regional bar food in Buffalo to 1.47 billion consumed in a single weekend? It comes down to 3 simple words: sports bars, satellites, and beer. In the 1980s, American consumers dramatically shifted their chicken preferences. They wanted boneless, skinless chicken breast, lean, clean, low-fat. This was the decade of the health food movement. Everyone wanted the breast, which meant chicken wings became extraordinarily cheap, a throwaway byproduct of an industry that only wanted one part of the bird. Bars and restaurants realized something critical. Wings were cheap enough to price low. The spicy, salty sauce made customers absolutely desperate for more beer. And satellite TV was just beginning to bring multiple sports channels into every bar in America simultaneously. According to the National Chicken Council, and yes, there is a National Chicken Council, and they release an annual wing report, which is a document I need everyone to appreciate. The connection between wings and football was born from pure economics. Cheap protein plus spicy sauce plus cold beer plus football on TV equals the greatest bar food equation in American history. And then the Super Bowl amplified everything. Every time you hand your child a Happy Meal, you are engaging with a psychological system designed in 1977 by a man watching his son read a cereal box. On a single Super Bowl Sunday, Americans consume an estimated 12.5 million pizzas, hundreds of millions of pounds of avocados, mostly as guacamole, 4 times the normal amount of nachos, approximately 325 million gallons of beer, and 1.47 billion chicken wings, that is 1.47 billion wings. According to the National Chicken Council, and I will never stop enjoying that this organization exists, 1.47 billion wings placed end-to-end would circle the earth 3 times. They weigh more than all 32 NFL teams combined. And antacid sales at 7-Eleven rise by 20% the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. America eats 1.47 billion wings in one weekend, and then spends the next morning desperately buying antacids. This is the circle of life, American style. And here is the final twist on the chicken wing story. The boneless wing. That thing you have been ordering at every sports bar for the last 20 years? Believe it or not, it is not actually a wing. It is a chicken nugget, shaped like a wing, sauced like a wing, called a wing. But anatomically speaking, it is just a nugget. A 2025 Fortune magazine investigation found that the vast majority of Americans who eat boneless wings have no idea they are eating processed chicken breast. Shaped to resemble a cut of meat it has nothing to do with. You have been eating a lie, a delicious, perfectly sauced lie, but a lie. Comment question number 3, bone-in or boneless? And do you actually care that boneless wings are not wings? Drop your answer below. This is the most important food debate of our generation. I am not joking. We have covered 3 massive moments in the history of food and pop culture. A turkey disaster that invented the TV dinner. A cereal box that created the Happy Meal. A sports bar economic equation that turned garbage chicken parts into 1.47 billion annual units of consumption. But here is the bigger picture, the one that ties everything together. Almost everything you think of as a traditional American food, something your grandmother made, something you grew up eating, something that feels like heritage, was invented by an advertising agency. Let me prove it to you. The green bean casserole, the iconic Thanksgiving side dish, the one that feels ancient, the one that feels like it has been on American tables for generations, created in 1955 by the Campbell Soup Company test kitchen, specifically designed to sell more cream of mushroom soup. It is not a family recipe. It is a product placement strategy that became a national tradition. The Toll House chocolate chip cookie. We covered this in a previous episode, but here is the part we did not mention. After Ruth Wakefield accidentally invented it, she shared the recipe with Nestlé in exchange for a lifetime supply of chocolate. Nestlé immediately printed her recipe on the back of every single bag of chocolate chips. Every bag, everywhere. For decades. The recipe was not shared because Nestlé was being generous. The recipe was shared because Nestlé understood that if they put the recipe on the bag, you would buy the bag, forever. The recipe was advertising, disguised as a gift. Jell-O, the wobbly, colorful dessert that defined American dinner parties throughout the 1950s. In 1902, Jell-O was struggling. It was an obscure product that almost nobody bought. The company sent salesmen door to door across the country, giving away free recipe booklets showing homemakers how to use Jell-O. By 1906, Jell-O sales had reached $1 million per year. By the 1950s, Jell-O molds, savory gelatin dishes containing everything from tuna fish to ham to vegetables, were the single most fashionable dinner party food in America. A New York Times food critic wrote in 1964 that a dinner party without a Jell-O mold was simply not a dinner party. And then, almost overnight, it disappeared. By the 1980s, Jell-O molds were considered embarrassing, a relic of bad taste, a joke. The food had not changed, the advertising had stopped, and without the advertising, the tradition evaporated. Author Christina Ward, who wrote American Advertising Cookbooks, put it perfectly. Modern American food culture, she says, is essentially a product of advertising. Even the Norman Rockwell vision of Thanksgiving, the roast turkey, the green bean casserole, the cranberry sauce, the pumpkin pie, was born not in family kitchens but in corporate test kitchens belonging to General Mills, Campbell's Soup, and Ocean Spray. The most nostalgic meal in America was engineered by marketing departments. So what does all of this mean? It means that every time you order wings on Super Bowl Sunday, you are participating in a tradition invented by cheap protein economics and satellite television. Every time you hand your child a Happy Meal, you are engaging with a psychological system designed in 1977 by a man watching his son read a cereal box. Every time you eat a TV dinner, you are consuming the solution to a Nebraska turkey surplus that nobody knew what to do with in 1953. And every time you make your grandmother's famous green bean casserole, you're making a recipe that was invented 70 years ago by the Campbell Soup Company. This is not cynical. This is just the truth. Food has always been cultural. Culture has always been commercial. And America has always been brilliant at turning commerce into tradition. The TV dinner is in the Smithsonian. The Happy Meal has sold 1.2 billion units a year. The Super Bowl consumes 1.47 billion wings in a weekend. And somewhere in a Campbell's test kitchen right now, someone is inventing the tradition your grandchildren will think is ancient. That is the file on food and pop culture. Case closed, sort of. Because next time you sit down for a meal, any meal, ask yourself one question. Did someone want me to eat this, or did I choose it? Subscribe to the Food Files. New case every 2 weeks. Every episode, a dish, a lie, a revelation. Next case, the 70-year pizza war between New York and Chicago. 2 cities, 1 dish, absolute chaos. That file opens in 2 weeks. Stay curious, stay hungry, and remember, nothing on your plate is exactly what you think it is.